You are listening to the Next Gen Jets show. Now, here are your hosts Connor Long, Chris Grasso, Jack Cotter, and Josh Woolever.
Yes, you are, in fact, listening to the Next Gen Jets show, streaming live right here on YouTube and Twitter. What is going on, New York Jet fans? Hello, everyone. Welcome back here into another edition of the Next Gen Jet show. I'm your host, Connor Long, joined, of course, by my co-hosts, Jack Cotter, Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever. It is great to be with you guys, however and wherever you are joining us. Be sure to smash the like button and hit subscribe or follow. That is the free way to support us and what we are doing right here on the channel. Puts the word out on the streets, spreads our show out to more Jet fans in the YouTube sphere, in Twitter land. So again, smash the like button, hit subscribe. That's completely free. Helps us grow a ton. Questions, comments, thoughts, throw all of those in the chat. We want to engage with you guys. We want to hear what you guys have to say. So we're going to get to those, throw those in the chat. Call into the show with the link pinned in the video description down below. Again, we appreciate you guys. Appreciate your support as always. Smash the like, hit subscribe. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Call them with the link in the pinned video, in the link pinned in the video description down below. And then, of course, don't forget about the paid way to support us. Super chats, memberships, those go a long way as well. Super chat a question that will cut the line and come up immediately ahead of all the other chats that we have ready, waiting in queue. So be sure to get involved there. We appreciate you guys, and we appreciate your support despite this dreadful season for the New York Jets. Chris Grasso.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a disaster, and I'm excited to keep on continuing to break it down with you guys.
Jack,
You're
here, by the way.
I am.
Out of the way.
I missed one show last week. I missed one show last week, and that was because I was busy. As I usually get busy on the weekends because I have no free time on the weekdays. But that should clear up after football season ends in about a week or two. So I'll try to make every single show from here on out, unless I'm late at a wrestling tournament somewhere, which hopefully I won't be. But I mean, this is probably the worst Jet season we've had since 2020. Obviously, I think it's a little better.
I mean, this defense could be top 5,
Jets.
right, Jack? This defense could certainly be top 5.
I posted that all the way back in week 3, but it is now week 11. I think it is week 11. And this season's just been awful so far. And Chris, I mean, with you, it got to the point where we have you now rooting for losses and tanking for Fernando Mendoza. You were angry that we beat the Browns.
I was not angry that we beat the Browns. I just wasn't over the moon about it because it wasn't a great win. It's not like, I mean,
you were actively rooting.
They always win when they don't need
going crazy over us beating the shitty Browns with Dylan Gabriel, who could barely complete a pass. Like, I wasn't gonna be over the moon about that.
Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing great, boys. Always great to be in the building with you guys. I think Connor, we're in the same boat. I've already accepted this season as a loss. I've moved on from being like Jack and just being disappointed in this team. Like that was out the window. That's out the window for me a while ago. But I mean, I'm here. I'm always here to break it down. My love for this team will never change. My passion for this team will never change. My hope for this team will never change. But another season down the gutter. I'm used to it at this point. So,
I think hope can change, Josh. I think hope can change. I think the hope can change.
It's already changed for me.
I
think this is like the year that is changing Chris Grasso's fandom. Because entering this season,
going to every season,
it was all Mr. Optimism.
I can't picture myself like being pessimistic going into a season. Like every year at the beginning of the year, I will usually have hope and try to break down the positives. But like as soon as it gets bad, like I'm the lowest of the low. Like as soon as it hit rock bottom versus
that's
my
not good
this year, I realized that just like it's over. So I mean, I always try to find positives, but like at this point of the season, when the playoff hopes are already done, like we're just gonna focus on getting our franchise.
Chris, they haven't made the playoffs in your lifetime. I think they are.
Yes, they did. They made the playoffs when he was 3 months old, 4 months old.
Oh wow, life changing.
That was one. That was a whole year.
What a revelation right there. Look, the team hasn't made the playoffs in my lifetime. Certainly, my tenure being a fan, the best I've seen them go since being a fan of this team is 7-10. I'm just used to it at this point. I just wonder though when they're ever going to break the cycle, because at the end of the day, we find ourselves. I put this in my Mock Offseason article earlier today. It seems like the Jets have us, facilitate these conversations earlier and earlier each year. It's like it's not even Thanksgiving, folks, and we're already talking about who the Jets are going to draft. There are people who think tanking works, and they're deciding to root for losses to draft a quarterback who is far from a surefire answer. So I mean, yeah, this is prime Jets form right now. We're going to have a lot of offseason talk later on in the show. Stay tuned for that. But we're going to start with the Jets-Ravens game. Before we do that, our guy John gives him membership. Shout out to you, John. Thank you so much for your support, as always, right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. Let's hop right into tomorrow's game. Jets-Ravens in Baltimore. 13.5 points. The spread. Jets road underdogs, of course. Tyrod Taylor getting the start, his second of the year after Aaron Glenn made the QB change earlier on in the week following Justin Fields' lackluster showing on Thursday Night Football. Jack, preview tomorrow's game for us.
Lamar Jackson's going to have at least 175 rushing yards on the Jets. I'm sorry to say it, but it will be a horrible day for the Jets run stop, whether that be Derrick Henry, I believe he's playing, and Lamar Jackson, who I think is going to lead the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow in rushing yards. It's going to be an ugly game for the Jets defensively. Offensively, it's not going to be as ugly, but it's definitely not going to be good tomorrow. Ravens, which despite their record, have still one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. So I think it's just going to be a shit show from both sides of the ball, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be another week of Austin McNamara.
Chris, you bought a Justin Fields jersey over the summer. He is no longer the Jets starting quarterback, at least for the time being. Always subject for Aaron Glenn to make another change. How do you view tomorrow's matchup for the Jets? Expectations, storylines, what are you looking at tomorrow?
I mean, first of all, I don't think it was necessary to mention the Justin Fields jersey, man. I mean, I'm quoting quarterback jerseys for this team until we hit on. It's a surefire like we hit on somebody. But tomorrow's game, I mean, the Ravens have had kind of a lackluster season with the injury to Lamar Jackson. It kind of underperformed a little bit, but again, like I said, due to the Lamar Jackson injury, I agree with Jack. I anticipate our defense getting crushed tomorrow in the rushing game, even in the passing game. I think the defensive issues will persist. God only knows we'll get a turnover for once. But I mean, I see the offense doing better than it's been, especially with the benching of Justin Fields. I like Tyrod. I like Tanner Engstrand certainly likes the separation that Adonai Mitchell got.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm excited to see if he can do anything finally. I expect Brees to continue. Brees to continue having the solid season he's having and hopefully get us something going on offense so we can have a chance to remain in this game.
Josh, what are you looking at tomorrow?
Yeah, I actually think it's going to be a lot closer than both of the previous two I've mentioned here. You're talking about a Ravens team that obviously is better than their 5-5 record would entail. An injured Lamar Jackson 4 out of the first 5 weeks is the reason for that. But he comes back and all of a sudden this team has won 4 straight. They're 1 game out of the division tie with Pittsburgh. But when I look up and down their schedule, I mean, there's nothing to get excited about here. Browns, a mediocre Vikings team, the Dolphins, and I guess you could say a good win against the Bears, but you're talking about 2 bottom tier teams, 1 middle of the pack team, and then 1 above average team. But to me, Baltimore, and they never really pulled away from a game here besides down in Miami, which is one of the worst football teams in the league. So to me, Baltimore really, I mean, you get Lamar Jackson back. Obviously, that's a plus. Hasn't shown me a ton. So I think that the Jets are able to keep this thing well inside the 2 touchdown spread that the odds makers currently have it as. I think Justin Fields benching, as Chris mentioned, gives a little bit of a spark to this offense. Tyrod Taylor, a guy who is confident in his throwing capabilities. Look for this Jets offense to move the ball down the field more than they have in the past weeks. Throw it past the damn first down marker for once in their lives. That seems like a foreign concept. But let's hope, get some of these new guys involved. A.D. Mitchell, John Mechie, those are the 2 guys I'm looking for. I think the Jets keep it close.
Tomorrow, Jets versus Ravens, M&T Bank Stadium in the Charm City. The way I'm viewing tomorrow's game is, what does this quarterback change do for the Jets? Now, I think it's safe to say at this rate, Tyrod Taylor gives the Jets their best chance to win football games, and ultimately, that's what Aaron Glenn wants to do. But the way I'm assessing the quarterback change, and the main reason why I thought was a quarterback change was necessary, is I want to be able to evaluate the rest of the receivers on this roster. I want to be able to look back and say, well, what did Mason Taylor do in his rookie season after being selected with a top 50 pick back in April? And unfortunately, with Justin Fields as your quarterback, we weren't able to see these receivers play to their fullest potential because he was afraid of throwing an interception. He was afraid to push the ball down the field. So that is the biggest thing that I'm looking for Tyrod Taylor, he needs to take shots downfield. He needs to integrate the wide receivers into the game plan successfully. And at the end of the day, I think the Jets do lose tomorrow. I think they're just outmatched against a very, very, very good and polished Baltimore Ravens team when they are fully healthy. But at this point in the season, with playoffs out of the picture and it being a lost year, I think you just want to see what these young guys can do, especially a player like John Mechie, who's a restricted free agent at the end of this year, had a beautiful touchdown last week against the New England Patriots. What is he able to do? Chris, you mentioned it earlier, A.D. Mitchell creating separation against New England, play in and play out. What is he able to do on a consistent basis with quarterbacks who can complete over 50% of his passes? I mean, the guy played with Justin Fields on Thursday night, spent a year with Anthony Richardson. So I think he knows the pain of bad quarterbacks that Chris Grasso still really likes. So A.D. Mitchell, it's going to be nice to see him with a good QB. He was able to put up efficient numbers with Daniel Jones before that drop touchdown in Los Angeles. So I'm looking forward to seeing these young guys, getting them integrated into the offense and seeing how Tyrod can potentially change their trajectory. Jack, as we sit here, I think we've kind of had enough time to make a fair evaluation of this coaching staff and the coaches on this staff. Are you looking at any coach and saying, hey, this team could potentially move off of them this offseason? If so, who is that?
I think this coaching staff is fine after this season. If I had to pick one, though, it'd probably be Steve Wilkes. If I had to say, again, it's a very basic answer. A lot of Jets fans don't really like him this season. Engstrand's young. You got to give him some time to grow with his offense. I think his position's a lock along with Muji, so I don't see the Jets moving off from him. I guess that by default you have to go with Steve Wilkes here.
Chris, what are we thinking?
You know exactly what I've been thinking. I've been saying it since the start of the season. Steve Wilkes has got to go. And I want to point out that you guys all mocked me for saying I wanted Steve Wilkes fired.
It was ridiculous. Absolutely.
No, it wasn't. No,
yes, you don't call for a defensive coordinator to be fired 4 games into the season.
As soon as the Dolphins game was over, we knew it. And now all you guys are all coming around to it. So I just want to let it be known that I was saying Steve Wilkes has to go since day one. But Connor, going back
let me stop you there. Your reasoning wasn't rational at the time. You said man coverage. Meanwhile, they ran man coverage.
I was pointing out how defense is how our defense always lets receivers run wide open.
You had Michael Carter II as your starting slot corner, who's been one of the worst slot corners in all of football. Brandon Stevens, frankly, has played well over these past few weeks, but has still been very, very inconsistent. The Jets have no safety. So my whole case with firing Steve Wilkes is his schematic stubbornness that has become more apparent in these recent weeks. Him refusing to switch over to zone coverage on third down, continuing to blitz in situations where you just know the Jets front four can't get home. So I think your anger regarding the defense performance were more attributed to the lack of personnel, rather Wilkes and his play calling.
I still could have pointed out from day one, but you made a good point back then, back a couple minutes ago, how benching Fields gives you an opportunity to evaluate the receivers. Well, I think it gives you an opportunity to evaluate Tanner Engstrand as an offensive play caller. I think he's done some good stuff this season, but it's important that we see him grow throughout the rest of the year, and you can only do that by having a functional quarterback who's willing to take shots and pass the ball down the field and see how you can drop an actual offense where your quarterback isn't just throwing 5-yard checks down and that's it. So, if I had my choice, I'm still not 100% confident on Glenn, but it's obvious that they're not going to fire him, so there's no point even entertaining
Chris, can I ask you this?
Yes, Josh.
Are you more mad about Steve Wilkes because of stuff he's actually done, or the fact that this team consistently misses tackles, can't get off the field on third down? Oh boy, Jack.
My boom arm broke.
And just the personnel is awful, Chris. I don't know what you want the coach to do there. He doesn't bring these guys into the building. He's not on the field tackling for them.
I understand the conversation about the personnel not being up to par, but also Wilkes is still calling the plays. He's not doing anything to help them. That's for damn sure.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, Josh, are you at the point where you'd be okay moving off of Wilkes in the offseason? Where do you stand on a lot of these coordinators?
Look, I'd be okay with it. I'm not sold 100% either way, and I think that's why, even if it's all about the draft position in these final weeks, there's still a lot to be learned, and it's not all about the pick. It is about the coaching staff. I'm not sold either way on Wilkes. I wouldn't be torn apart should they move off of him, but really what you need to get a grip on is you lost Sauce Gardner. You lost Quinnen Williams. Maybe for the better, you lost Michael Carter II. Brownlee has been awful with the flags recently. And, you maybe get a turnaround from Stevens is what the stats are telling us. But overall, man, this on paper is just one of the worst defenses that NFL's going to put out there. Because, look, what do you want Steve Wilks to do when the guy's going after, when Drake May's got 5.5 seconds, in the pocket? Of course he's going to make something happen for a first down. You keep Michael Clemens coming off the edge. I don't really care what the rest of the defense does. The quarterback's going to have, however much time he needs in the pocket. So I think a lot of this can be put on personnel. Obviously, to Chris's point, there's got to be better play calling in the books somewhere. And at the end of the day, also, who's running these guys at practice? It's Steve Wilks. He's the defensive coordinator. We got to remember that too. So when we talk about missed tackles, when we talk about teammates breaking up their own interceptions, it's laughable.
And then getting up and celebrating it.
That's the best part. It's laughably bad, Connor, Jack, and Chris. But at the same time, this is the guy who also runs the practices and, instills this into them. So, yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't be mad moving off Wilks.
Yeah, I have the Jets moving off of Wilks in the offseason. Made that clear in my first mock offseason that came out earlier today for JetsXFactor.com. And the biggest thing for me is he continues to have his players die on the same hill each and every single week because he refuses to adjust his own coverage, particularly on third down. And look, a move like this has to take place, especially in a rebuilding phase. You could just admit that you didn't hire the right DC and move on. Easy. Perfect. The Lions did it at offensive coordinator after Dan Campbell's first year where they finished 3-13-1. They fired Anthony Lynn. In comes Ben Johnson, and you have an offensive rejoice, and you're in the NFC Championship just 2 seasons later. The Jets need to make a change at defensive coordinator. And I don't know if you guys have looked into any of the candidates, but I had the Jets bringing in Jim Leonard. He started over 40 games for the Jets. He was with them from 2009 through 2011, was a defensive coordinator at Wisconsin, was a head coach for 7 games there, went 4-3. And then he jumped over to Denver and joined Sean Payton's staff with the Denver Broncos, learning under Vance Joseph, one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. And we all know how great Denver's defense has been. Leonard's familiar with the Jets organization, proven success in the modern day NFL, continues to rise up the ranks. I have the Jets bringing him in should they fire Wilks. And the other coaching spot where I have the Jets making a change is quarterbacks coach. Charles London, the hiring of him to me never made much sense. He was a running back throughout his career. He had some prior experience as a quarterback coach, but didn't really do much. Oversaw the development of Desmond Ridder in Atlanta. That certainly didn't go in the right direction. Will Levis in Tennessee, which was an unmitigated disaster, and then was in Seattle for a stretch of Geno Smith's kind of resurrection over there. But when you look at his track record, the uneven quarterback development, the hire never really made any sense. The results certainly haven't done enough to change that. And then I have the Jets bringing in David Blau in his spot. David Blau, just 30 years old, but you guys like this. He played under Glenn on that. Obviously, Glenn was on the Detroit coaching staff. He was a journeyman quarterback. He bounced around, an undrafted free agent. But here you go. Open your ears wide, Chris, because he was the assistant quarterbacks coach these past 2 years with the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels' development over there, certainly sensational when he's been on the field. So I think the Jets need someone who maybe isn't the most experienced. They don't need a 60-year-old quarterback coach who's been on the block for, a handful of decades now. I think they need someone who has helped develop a quarterback before. David Blau is in an incredible environment in Washington with a great offensive mind in Cliff Kingsbury, a great coaching staff over there, spread some magic with the Jets. So I have the Jets bringing in David Blau. So fire Charles London, fire Steve Wilks, enter Jim Leonard, David Blau. Those are my coaching changes. Now, when you look at the current roster, the Jets have some decisions to make on the options and extensions front. They have a decision to make. Do they pick up Will McDonald's 5th-year option or not? They have the option to extend Jermaine Johnson, or if he will just play out his 5th-year option next season. Those are the two main ones. I have the Jets picking up McDonald's 5th-year option and then letting Jermaine play out his 5th-year option next season. Josh, what are you doing in those circumstances?
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson, I think you certainly bring back someone who obviously coming off the injury for.
Well, he could be back without extending him. He's on the 5th-year option already for next year. It's
So
just, do you either give him a new deal or like a multi-year extension right now, make him happy, or just have him play out the 5th-year option and then reassess next year?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I'm confident enough in giving him a deal probably for cheaper now rather than, you wait and see if he has a career year and then he's looking to really get paid on the open market and maybe even reset that market. I would say that, he has been able to bounce back. You look at his pre-injury form and this is just a guy that's been an all-around leader for the Jets. Also, like Garrett Wilson has been here through the rebuilding years, and I think it's just good to keep around homegrown talent. So I would actually extend JJ.
Interesting. What about Will McDonald? Are you picking up his 5th-year option? Are you letting him walk? Or are you trying to sign him to a whole new deal? What are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think Will McDonald has been a game wrecker at times. The 5th year sounds right for me. I don't really want to double up on edges going into the long term twice in a row, but I also don't think this is a guy who you're just going to let walk. Try and keep him under the rookie deal for one extra season and then reevaluate from there. Got to learn what the cap situation looks like 2-3 years down the line, and then whether or not it makes sense to double up. But this is a guy that, many people had as the second round. It's obviously a different GM and coaching regime, but the Jets were really, really high on Will McDonald to be able to splurge for him at 15. And I think that said something. He's been able to come in here and really improve the season and raise his expectations. So yeah, I'd keep him around an extra year.
Chris, 2 players you like very much. What do you do with them?
I think an option is you can extend McDonald and let Jermaine play out, because I think if you wait another year on McDonald and he has like a nuclear year, you're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. So I think you can just extend McDonald after this season and then let Jermaine out to see how he continues to progress after that injury, then pay him accordingly afterwards. I mean, because with this offseason, we're going to be paying a lot of money to quarterbacks who aren't on the team anymore. We're going to have to absorb some of Rodgers' cap, and we're going to have to pay Justin Fields. So it's ideal if we would push Jermaine off for a bit so we can actually pay him the proper value while making sure McDonald is still locked down. We don't have to pay a ton for him in the future.
And the good news is the Jets can afford to pay all this money to the quarterbacks because they have $99.2 million as of now as a cap space projection entering the offseason. So they can afford that. Jack, your thoughts on what we're discussing here?
My point is exactly what Chris said. Give Will McDonald the deal now because again, like if he has an absolute nasty year next year, the defensive end market is again every position's going up now as a defensive end, especially with the uprising of Jared Verse and a lot of new young guys in around the league. I think that it's best to pay McDonald now and wait to pay Johnson after his 5th year.
It's certainly an interesting conversation, right? I think it all comes down to, have these guys shown the Jets and this regime enough? I think both are very good players. The reason I have them waiting another year is because, look, I don't know if I want to commit to Will McDonald long term. I don't know if I want to commit to Jermaine Johnson long term. But the biggest thing for me with McDonald is he's not a finished product, but like every time he steps on the field, the talent pops. You just don't throw away a guy like that, especially when you can bring him back in kind of a team-friendly option and that doesn't affect the cap space this offseason. And Jermaine, he's productive, but he's not at that top-tier level. Like, he's not at Will McDonald's level, in my opinion. He's not at, like, the Trey Hendrickson level. He's not there. So I'd have a hard time assessing where he is. And honestly, he strikes me as a guy who's very confident in himself, who wants to be here. He's very confident. I could see him kind of betting on himself and saying, let me not take something for less right now. Let me wait, play out my 5th-year option, get double-digit sacks, and then reassess. But on a side note, before we go back to talking about this offseason, and again, everyone smash the like button, hit subscribe. You're watching the Next Gen Jet Show, streaming live right here on YouTube and Twitter. Again, questions, comments, thoughts, throw those in the chat. We're going to get to those. Call into the show with the link pinned to the video description down below. I want to address this clip that was just texted to me by someone currently on the panel. Jack, I just got this text.
Nope.
It was a 3
No,
second
we're not.
video.
We're not doing this.
To watch it. Can
No.
you please explain this?
No. Dude, that's so bad. Why would you put that up?
I didn't get to watch it. I wanted to play it live on the air. I did not know it was that.
Oh my gosh.
Jack, your thoughts behind sending that? I thought it was like an actual real video.
That was AI. I saw the video. You created that. That was AI.
Yeah, the Sora clip was on the side, but I saw Sora. That's
you saw the
100%
watermark.
Yeah, it was all Sora
that's
AI.
for sure.
So the watermark. Okay.
Was there a caption that went with? I'm just curious. I also didn't get to it yet.
No.
Oh, there-
Sorry. Yeah. I mean,
No, because that was Sora.
Okay.
Oh,
it was
so Sora doesn't do captions.
It was Sora.
Yeah, that was Sora.
All right. Now, as it pertains to the subtractions that the Jets will be making on their roster this year, Justin Fields at the quarterback position. Look, this is certainly someone a lot of people are going to talk about, given the fact that he's under contract, like I said, for next season. And this year certainly didn't play out the way that Jet fans and the Jets organization obviously hope to. The Jets can move on from him with a post-June 1 designation, similar to what they did with Rodgers. They'd save $10 million in cap this offseason, absorb a $13 million dead hit this year, and then a $9 million dead hit next season. So what do you guys do with Fields? Do you keep him? Do you have him stick around in your backup? Do you cut him pre-June 1, take all $22 million on this offseason, or spread the money out, Chris?
Look at Chris.
There is no way. I wouldn't even consider keeping him in the slightest, bro. Like that'd be so monumentally stupid and a horrible decision. Fields has got to go. He sucks. We thought coming in that we would bank on the upside of him as a passer, and it would come along with the rushing benefits. He's a running back. He cannot throw the ball. Is
he even a running back though? They're afraid to use his legs.
There's no value at all.
That's what I've been saying.
Sucks so bad. Get him out.
Jack.
Yeah, I'm with Chris on this one. It would be a franchise.
You can't bring him back.
It would be a franchise mishap to have him on the roster next season.
Yeah.
Make a statement, cut him, make it clear that this is a change moving forward, that you don't want that bad mojo leaking through. I just think it goes way, way too far to bring Justin Fields back. I think what Aaron Glenn's going to do what's best for himself, and that is to get that guy as far from the roster as possible. Right, Chris?
Oh, 100%.
And look, I actually feel bad for Justin Fields, right? Because in all accounts, like, he's a great person. He seems like it for sure. And he's had all the pressure in the world. I mean, let's keep in mind, this guy wasn't just a regular first-round pick. He came from Ohio State, which is one of the most reputable programs in the country. And like, I was rooting for Justin Fields ever since he got drafted. I rooted for him in Chicago. I rooted for him in Pittsburgh. I certainly rooted for him with the Jets. And to like just see him bottom out this poorly, I feel for the guy, right? Because it's not like he's a total jerk. It's not like, you know, for example, but this is like what it was like with Baker Mayfield. He was this number 1 overall pick. He had an ego. He had a high-flying personality. And he failed in Cleveland. I didn't really care because I was like, all right, this guy's kind of a dope. And then he kind of came down to earth, and it's like, I'm happy to see that guy having success. So I root for good people to do good things in the NFL. And it sucks to see that Fields hasn't been able to accomplish that. But I'm in agreeing entirely with you guys. I think you have to move on from him this offseason, get him out, admit you made a mistake, and move on. And the one more player I want to touch on when it comes to, do you bring him back? What do you do? Breece Hall. Because this is a really, really interesting situation. I think more intriguing than the Jermaine and Will McDonald situations, because Granley was a second-round pick in 2022. He doesn't have the fifth-year option. So the Jets could either let him walk entirely, extend him, place the transition tag on him, or the franchise tag. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Then I will go into my analysis on this Breece Hall contractual situation, Jack.
Just in my opinion, just give him the franchise tag after this season. He's proved to me enough that he can do it. I mean, 5.4 average per carry. I know he's only had 3-4 touchdowns, I think, around that this year. And you know, he's actually on pace to get 1,000 rushing yards this season, and hopefully he does eventually get that come week 18. But just overall, I think he's proven to me that he deserves a franchise tag, and we'll see how he plays next season, whether we let him walk or sign him to a short deal after that.
Chris?
I mean, I want to see Breece Hall on this team, so I think the best move we can possibly do is to franchise tag him. I think it would be a grave mistake to let a playmaker like Breece Hall walk. I mean, you don't. I know he has underperformed. I know he got hurt, but I think when he's on the field, he brings explosiveness, and we're starting to see that come back this year. I'm seeing it especially come back. So I think Breece Hall has earned his spot in this team. I think we should franchise tag him.
Yeah, again, it's really interesting because you can go in so many different directions with him, and what the Jets ultimately decide to do, of course, still up in the air. I'm trying to get the exact cap number. So yeah, a transition tag is $14 million. The franchise tag is $14 million. Excuse me. A transition's 11. So I just chose the transition because there's no difference and it's cheaper, and he's on the team next year still, no matter what. So I plan to have the transition tag with Breece Hall. You kind of buy one more year to see what you're going to do with him. Gives you more time to ultimately make a decision there. Some of the other guys I have, the Jets bringing back Jawan Briggs on the RFA tender, John Mechie on the ROFR tender, Nick Folk 1-year extension, AVT 1-year prove-it deal, Josh Myers cheap 1-year deal, Tyler Johnson cheap 1-year deal, Jeremy Ruckert 3-year $8.5 million extension, Kanena Wangu 2-year $4.8 million extension. So I think there are a lot of guys who ultimately, despite a poor year, have outplayed their expectations, right? Isn't that crazy to think? In such a bad year for this team, there have been so many guys who have outplayed their expectations. Jawan Briggs, Josh Myers, Tyler Johnson, Jeremy Ruckert, even a guy like Kanena Wangu. So, look, there are still silver linings in this season, which I think a lot of fans often forget.
Yeah,
Tyler Johnson's arguably been our wide receiver 2 this season, and nobody expected that. Everybody thought it was going to be what, Josh Reynolds, I think it was.
I wrote an article about it in July.
I mean, that's great, but I'm just saying, but like nobody thought he would be our wide receiver 2. I mean, we've seen what he can do in LA and Tampa Bay, but considering who we brought in, nobody thought he would be our receiver 2. And to be honest with you, he's actually over. Even if I did expect him to be our receiver 2, he's actually over producing as much as I thought he would at the beginning, because at the start of the season, I thought our lineup would be receiver 1 would be Garrett, receiver 2 Josh, receiver 3 Lazard, receiver 4 is probably even Arian Smith, and then receiver 5 I probably had Tyler Johnson. Nowhere near wide receiver 2, but hey, I mean, if this guy is doing, he's doing good this season. I would like the Jets to bring him back on a short-term deal.
Chris, Josh, what are we hearing? What are we thinking?
I mean, Tyler Johnson looked pretty good in preseason. I mean, him and Pritchett were my preseason standouts in the wide receiver room. I don't know what Pritchett is doing. I really hope he's doing well on our practice squad. I still think that's one of the biggest mistakes.
Doing well on the practice squad. I love those words.
But
I just hope he's okay. Like, he should have been on the roster in week 2. Like, I just hope he's alive.
I hope he survived.
No one told us.
I hope he survived. But
Chris, can you do some investigative journalism? Drive over to the Jets training facility. Let us know. Give the window a good knock. Let us know if he's
perform a wellness check on Jamal Pritchett.
Yes.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
No
any sign of
what about
motion?
Quinn Skinner?
No, bro.
Where's this guy?
But Connor, I want to touch on something you said earlier. You said you feel bad for Justin Fields. I'm in the same boat as you. I feel bad for Justin Fields, but when we feel bad for our quarterbacks, that's how you know it's a bad sign. Like, I was feeling bad for Zach Wilson towards the end of his tenure just because he's so bad. Like, feeling bad for players is not a good sign, bro. It's not. I
feel bad for Michael Clemens too, because it's like he just he can't tackle a quarterback rolling out, or he just I'm not even trying
to.
He's
a defensive tackle and he can't tackle. I feel terrible.
He physically cannot set an edge and get outside and make it. I genuinely feel bad for him that he's put in that position 5 times a game, multiple 18 games in a season. So I genuinely feel bad for Michael Clemens, because it's like we can't do it. And I mean, this is going to be interesting. How many Clemens missed tackles are we going to see against Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson?
It's going to be insane.
Honestly, good on him for finessing his way into an NFL roster. That is that must take some good magician skills night in, night out. Like what does he do? He must he must do something in like camp or something, like get everybody Michael Clemens top of the list because oh boy, we've seen it for a while.
He wasn't even good at camp. I was with media the first day of camp, and the only thing I noticed, I was sitting next to Kaz, and I said, "Oh, did you see Clemens shaved his head?" That was the only thing I noticed. And I didn't say Clemens' name once throughout the rest of training camp, other than, "Oh, you see Michael Clemens shaved his head." Like that was the only observation I made of Michael Clemens during training camp. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever, Jack Cotter. I'm Connor Long, right here with you guys on a Saturday edition of the Next Gen Jet Show. Questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Call into the show with the link pinned in the video description down below. Let's head over to the phone lines. First up here on today's show is the great Lou B, Super Jets fan. Lou, how you doing, my friend?
What's up?
Can you hear me good?
Yep.
Loud and clear.
Well, me,
Loving
Chris,
the hat.
and Josh watched our first Jet win together.
Yeah,
Right?
where were you guys?
Go, baby.
Jack, where were you?
On the couch.
I had a game that day.
Yeah, we were talking about that. You guys didn't show up, but that was great. That was a good day. That was good to feel a win finally, right?
Yeah.
Amen.
Oh,
But
yes.
that was the win, and I am on Team Tank 100%. I can't. I as you know how much I love this team, but for us to try to trade up and have to give so much more away is just crazy. I would rather just see what we have, evaluate, and get a better pick because it's going to be expensive. I don't think I will be able to live without getting Mendoza or Ty. I really want Mendoza, to be honest with you. I watched Ty today. He's good, but I think Mendoza is
Mendoza, it's an interesting conversation, Lou. Mendoza was my top guy from summer scouting when nobody knew him. And I really, really liked him when I saw from him at Cal, and obviously he's only boosted that at Indiana, of course. I'm more of a Ty Simpson fan because, again, it doesn't show up on the stat sheet. Like Mendoza is more of the flashy player who makes the 75-yard completions each play. But Ty Simpson is so good in the pocket, his pocket awareness, his ability to process the field, make the right reads, reduce the amount of turnover worthy plays. Like I think that's such a strong attribute that he has. At the end of the day, I don't think Mendoza or Simpson are these generational can't miss players who are incredible, who are again the can't miss, the Peyton Mannings, the top dogs, and like everyone was saying about Trevor Lawrence, like everyone was saying about Caleb Williams. And I'm not going to tell a fan how to fan. Like I understand if someone's rooting for a tank. My whole bottom line is like getting the number 1 overall pick and tanking correctly never equates to success. It's not about draft position. It's about having a strong supporting cast for the quarterback. It's about having a development plan in place. It's about having the right coaches. So getting the right quarterback is only one step of the equation. And look, Jalen Hurts, I'll continue to go back to this example, our Super Bowl MVP back in February. He was a second-round pick, had a strong supporting cast, had an incredible coaching staff around him, and there he is. He wasn't a can't-miss, flashy number 1 overall pick that the Eagles tanked for. He was someone who they sat for a season and developed him correctly with the right pieces in place.
Yeah, I hear you, but this is also about the fan experience, right? And Mendoza or Ty would light up the fans again. I think it would help sell. At the end of the day, this is a big business, right? And Woody and them are looking at it as a business. To sell, Mendoza goes on that team, and I think you're going to see a lot of tickets being sold. Like I have friends right now. You're getting the calls for renewing the season tickets, right? So that's the calls that I'm getting right now. Am I renewing? So you have to make these decisions before the draft.
Are you renewing, Lou?
I am. I
think you're the only person I know
right
who
there.
is renewing. I think you are the only person I know who is renewing.
Yeah, I'm renewing. I am, but the other fans I know that aren't, they're like, hey, if Mendoza is we need a quarterback in order for the fans to fill that stadium again. And the fan experience is horrible without looking at a half full stadium, right? So I think Woody and them have to be looking at this. Like, how do we sell tickets? Besides win games, how do we sell tickets?
Yeah. And And I think the defense for the people who canceled their season tickets, this is what I was thinking. I mean, you can buy tickets on the secondary market day of for probably half the price on a per game basis of the people that canceled their own tickets. And I think the biggest thing with season tickets, especially in other sports, is, you get first access to playoff seats. This team has not been in the playoffs for almost 2 decades.
And it sure as hell ain't going to be at home.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, my God. And so Connor, going back to what you said before.
How long do you think MetLife holds a playoff game? Over under 3 decades.
Yeah, definitely. Lou, thank you for the call, though, my friend. You got any final thoughts before we let you go? Thank you, Lou. We appreciate it.
So Connor.
Yeah.
So I get kicked off.
I'm trying to fix the layout. So
my God. So I want to talk about some of the stuff you said about Mendoza. So while he's not like a quarterback prospect like Caleb Williams, who was viewed as this like the surefire number 1, cannot miss. If you watch Fernando Mendoza, he has that gene. He has that fight. He has that. He makes a pro level throws in the pro level moments. We saw in that last drive against Penn State. Like it needed to get done there, and he did it.
The greatest catch you've ever seen.
No,
that's the quarterback.
Yep. That is not elite ball.
That was not the quarterback.
Those were both.
That was the greatest catch you'll ever see.
Especially the fade to the sideline on the left. That was insanely good ball placement. I think going to this draft class, if we don't get the first overall pick, I'm willing to give our 2 first round this year and a second rounder from next year to go get.
Oh my God!
No, stop it! You did not just say that. Why don't you just wait until 2027?
You guys know what? For the fun of it, and then we're gonna get to the questions. I just realized that was in your spot, Jack. We will get to the question shortly. So again, load those up in the chat. Smash the like, hit subscribe right here on the next Gen Jet Show. Do you want to fire up a mock draft? We've had enough sample size.
I don't know. I'm gonna be so honest with you.
After Thanksgiving, bro.
Till after Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna be so honest with you. My knowledge on this draft class this year isn't that great besides the quarterbacks. So I think I have to study them more as of right now. Maybe wait till after Thanksgiving.
The quarterbacks and the wide receivers are the most notable. I did my first for the mock offseason for JetX the other day. Half the players I didn't even know. They were just dart throws, so I looked at their PFF profiles, and I think that's what everyone I think that's what's expected at this point, right? Because it's still so early. Like even to the draft guys' standards, like around this time is when the draft analysts like really start going in on their scouting. I think the biggest time of year where I really start is Senior Bowl. That's where I really start focusing on and locking in on the class. And Senior Bowl isn't until end of January. So we still have so much time before we even reach that territory. Paul says, good evening, everyone. I know we'll be talking NYJ soon, but can anyone tell me why perennial underachiever Notre Dame feels compelled to run up the scores 70-0?
It's football.
It was 35-0 in the first quarter.
It's football.
Says you just score as many points you possibly can. It's not running up the score, it's just playing.
The craziest thing for me is how Syracuse went from like being potential college football playoff contenders last year to losing 70-0 to Notre Dame. And
when were they perennial playoff contenders?
Not perennial.
When did that happen?
Potential is what I meant.
Also, no.
Oh, absolutely. Did you watch a game of them last year with Kyle McCord? They McCord for
they
two
were
more
not
seasons.
Okay. At what
they were
point
not good?
in the season were they going to the playoffs?
You just said they were not good?
No, I didn't. I said at what point in the season were they going to go to the playoffs?
Oh, certainly. A few different games go their way. Like they were Kyle McCord is one of the most underrated quarterbacks we've seen these past few years in college.
He wasn't that good though. He's just like a standard pocket passing quarterback.
Yeah.
He's like Fernando Mendoza.
No, Mendoza. No, he does not have the ball placement for Fernando Mendoza.
No.
Come on. There's a reason why he was taken in the 5th round, and Mendoza is going to win the Heisman Trophy.
What does draft position have to do with anything, though, Chris? Right? Because that goes back to our.
Kyle McCord would have been taken higher if he was as good as you say.
Okay, well, maybe teams got their evaluations wrong. Tom Brady was a 6th round pick.
So you're talking about a team like NFL front office got
like the New York Jets.
NFL front offices mix up their picks all the time.
I love all the evaluation. I love the Jack stuff. Like I don't know if an NFL team is getting it wrong over like.
What are you talking about? The Jets with Zach Wilson. It happens every draft. a team gets
but there's no way that the town can go that under evaluated. Teams watch Tom McCord and they see a guy who just stands in the pocket and just completes passes. Like
so Fernando
does
Mendoza,
that sometimes.
Yeah. Fernando Mendoza. That's
that's not Fernando Mendoza, bro. Come on.
Who is Fernando Mendoza?
I like Mendoza. Connor, Chris watched that final drive against Penn State. Don't you dare say Fernando Mendoza.
There's a guy.
He watched that drive. He watched that drive.
He plays like an NFL-ready quarterback. He has accuracy. This is exactly what we need, guys. We have built a team so that a quarterback can come in and succeed. It is built right.
Sorry, are you talking about? Is this a Caleb Williams scouting report or a Fernando Mendoza scouting report?
So how's that Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams is the guy who throw a ball. Mendoza is not. I never said that about Mendoza. I said he's going to make the throw on time, on schedule, and he's going to.
You think that's Chris? Was that throw to the back? Chris, was that throw to the back of the end zone in one of the better catches I've ever seen? Mendoza or the receiver? He's gonna say.
It's a combination of both. That is a great catch, but also he put that in the spot where only the receiver can catch it.
Yeah, but there was 25 other spots that only the receiver could catch it that didn't require.
I don't think so. I don't think there's 25 other spots that the receiver could have caught it.
Okay.
Look, if Dante Moore comes out, he's gonna jump to my QB1. If Dante Moore,
QB2 probably, I would say. I still think Mendoza.
Simpson is my clear-cut number one right now, because he's kind of like Mendoza when it comes to accuracy, but he can move, he can process a field, he has pocket awareness, he can play behind not the best conditions. Like Fernando Mendoza needs to be behind a perfect line. He needs 4 seconds to throw. He needs the whole play to unfold in front of him, which is one of the concerns that I have, and his ability to step up, to drop back in the in the pocket. So I'm certainly leaning Ty Simpson right now as lone wolf. Drops in the chats. I believe we should grab best player available in 26, QB in 27. It's certainly an interesting conversation. But I think the thing that a lot of people forget is unless the Jets are idiotic enough to actually give up assets to trade up for Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson or premium assets, the Jets have a back of the first round pick that can be used towards a really good player. Like in my mock draft, I had them grabbing Denzel Boston out of Washington. This is a guy who is 6'4", 209 pounds, smooth mover, 66.7% contested catch rate this year. Doesn't drop many passes. Like you can still get infrastructure around that quarterback. You could still potentially add defensive pieces with those premium picks. Unless the Jets, of course, decide to trade up and give up another first round pick for a quarterback, which I think would be ridiculous.
To Lone Wolf's
I don't think it's ridiculous. Like if you see a guy that you think could be the guy, go get whatever you need for him. That's why I want them to lose out so they don't have to trade up and just get your quarterback in the first place. But if you see a guy that you really like, trade up for him. I don't want to give any of our first round picks in 2027, but I'm willing to give both first round picks this year in the second rounder. That's the max I'll give.
I mean, I don't want to go to the trade up. Chris, I don't want to go to the trade up scenario. I think that if you're talking about needing a first round quarterback, tanking still isn't going to work. Like when was the last time the first quarterback off the board was the best? I mean, you're talking about Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. None of these guys are the first quarterback off the board in their class. So if that's your argument, clearly history doesn't back that. Number one. Number two, I want to go back to a conversation that conveniently Chris and Jack were absent for last week. Connor and I think the best case scenario in my mind here, unless something drastically changes, unless you see a quarterback shoot up the board and Glenn loves this guy, I think you take the best talent that's there if they're not a safety, so specifically Mr. Downs or an offensive lineman. I think you take the best talent other than that with your first round pick. And then Connor, wait through rounds 3 through 6 to grab a back-end quarterback, see what you have in 26, and then really go in-depth to the quarterback class in 27. That's the way I like it. Grab a back-end quarterback. History proves that you're better off doing that. You know, maybe not the 6th round pick is always going to work out, but grab a sleeper, try and develop them. All good if you don't. It was a shot in the dark anyways. And then you're right back there if that doesn't work out with your first round pick. I don't know why Chris is shaking his head no. Like that doesn't make sense.
We need to get the guy. We need to get Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, tell me what doesn't make sense about that scenario. No.
I don't even care if you get Fernando Mendoza. Listen for a second. If you don't want to take a quarterback in this draft class, that is completely fine. Then
why don't you just take a back end of the class guy?
That's stupid. Why would you do that?
Oh my god.
Oh, why would you
Bottom line.
Take a bridge like Kirk Cousins and let him start and build a team.
Bottom line.
Headphones are off.
Chris,
Just get Kirk Cousins, bro. Take the Howard. I need like quarterbacks who are not high talents. Like if quarterback falls, what is the point of taking him? I literally don't understand it.
Chris,
it goes beyond highlights and flashy plays. And
no, that's not even what it is.
One drive that you saw.
Taking a late quarterback and have him cause doubt. And
No, Connor, he saw the last drive against Penn State.
So if this quarterback even causes the slightest amount of controversy and deters you from taking a quarterback in 2027, and he fails, like this is like a Kenny Pickett and what's his name? Malik Willis scenario. Like if you like bet on them, it's going to set your team back for a while.
They didn't. Don't bet on them.
Kenny Pickett was the. Hold on, Chris. You're proving my point.
Kenny Pickett was in the playoffs.
Yeah, and also wait, no, Chris, you're proving my point. Chris, hold on. Chris Grasso, hold on. You're proving my point. Kenny Pickett was a first-round pick. I'm saying don't do that.
No, like late back-end first-round picks and Malik Willis.
No, I said like day 2 or 3. I don't want.
Give me what I had in my mock draft.
Around 6 or like around 5, 6, or 7 quarterback.
I put Ty Simpson as the quarterback. I took at 5, and then I selected Drew Aller in the 6th round. So you have 2 swings there. Drew Aller, a guy who was on pace to potentially be the QB1 this year before his injury, a prototypical build, NFL caliber arm strength, can process the field. And I'm okay if you maybe take BPA with both those first round picks, then you just wait until next year to take that quarterback. So there are multiple ways the Jets go about it. You just got to hit one way or another, whether it's this year or next. Mike D's Nuts, 13-month super chats. Go get your guy. Maybe Muji can get a good deal. Appreciate you, Mike. Lou B drops in with a $2 super chat. Shout out to you, Lucis. For some reason,
Chris, you got a fan.
I always agree with Chris. LOL.
It's just the extreme passion we both share for this team, Lou. So that's really what it is.
Yeah,
I'm not
you root for them to lose games, but it's an extreme.
Hey, you root for them to lose games,
dude. Don't you dare say that, because that's not what I'm implying. But I'm saying it's just the
you root for them to lose games, though. Like I feel like
it's setting ourselves up for a good position. Right?
Okay, Chris, please explain to me when tanking has resulted in success.
No, let me explain to you, because
just
usually
just give me an example.
I will. I'm not giving you an example. I'll explain to you why it will work for us.
He's not giving you an example.
The Jets will rewrite history,
bro,
right? The team that hasn't made the playoffs in 15 years will rewrite history.
Teams who usually tank suck. Our team actually has foundational pieces and talent. So if a quarterback steps in, he has the tools to do well. Teams who tank usually are bottom of the barrel, have no talent, and then they make the mistake of throwing the draft pick into the fire early. Like we have a good team, a solid team. I know it hasn't showed because Justin Fields has sucked, but we have pieces on our team. So if we tank and put a quarterback in this situation, I feel like he has a higher chance to succeed than a quarterback you would draft later in the draft or later in, God forbid, the 5th or 6th round.
Can we just get Haynes King from Georgia Tech? Solve our problem.
He's good.
He's good. He's losing, though. They're down 2 touchdowns to Pitt at the half.
I like the dude from Cincinnati, Sorsby.
What about John Mateer? What
Mateer sucks, bro. He can't hit a pass.
Chris watched the game after he missed 4 weeks of injury and is like, nope, this guy sucks.
He couldn't hit anything, bro.
I like John Mateer.
Sam Levitt?
He's going to go back to school.
I think he just entered the portal. How about Carson Beck? That was a name from last week.
Oh my God. Yeah. Zero touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
I do not want Carson Beck.
I like Carson Beck. I
wouldn't mind him.
I just don't think Carson Beck is going to pan out at the NFL level. I just don't.
You think?
I don't. Yeah, no. But again, you never know. Like, there's no such thing as a quarterback expert because quarterbacks hit and miss all the time. All the time. And again, it's typically not the headline name that always works out. Keep that.
Remember the build up to Lawrence? Remember how big that was? And then he's only had like one good season after since he was drafted.
Well, I mean, look, it's not always the first guys. Like, it's the Josh Allens, it's the Patrick Mahomes, it's the Lamar Jacksons who aren't the first guys off the board, but go to great organizations and work out.
Unfortunately, Connor, great organizations is where I have to stop you because when have the Jets show that they're a great organization?
Well, exactly. That's why you need to make changes on the coaching staff and have tangible development.
We have many times and it hasn't worked out. And it has not.
You need to just keep going back to the drawing board. That's how it works. There is a way to explain every single time the Jets have missed.
Of course, but the Jets have tried that so many times. I mean, how many?
Okay, so you're saying you don't want them to take a quarterback and sign Marcus Mariota and just have him start for the next 3
It's
years.
not going to work. Okay, I'm tired of thinking that waiting to get a quarterback without getting him as soon as you can, and without. I'm not saying I want to trade up, but like if a team grabs Mendoza, fine, get Ty Simpson. I'd rather do that than trade up. But then like. But you can't. I hate the mentality of wait for someone to come to us. Keep in mind with Dante Moore probably going back to college and Lenore Sellers going back to college, this quarterback class doesn't have a lot of depth to it besides Simpson and Mendoza, who are the playmakers of the quarterbacks in this draft class, and maybe Carson Beck. So you can't let these guys just fall to you in maybe the second round and expect them to be some good quarterbacks, even since we've had examples in the past. And by the way, since you said great organizations turn them into good quarterbacks, the Jets have a history of being the worst organization in football in developing quarterbacks. It's only going to make it worse if you wait for.
You realize if you take a guy with the number 1 overall pick, you still have to develop him. Like you realize that, like
of course, but that's why they're the number 1 pick for a reason. They're probably that's why they're the number 1 pick for a reason. That's why. And if you say Jalen Hurts, if your example is Jalen Hurts, look at the depth from that class.
By the way,
look at the depth. No, Chris, that's not even my point. Look at the depth in that class. You had Burrow, arguably a top 3 quarterback when he's healthy. Herbert, an above-average quarterback when he's healthy.
Justin Herbert's terrible. Jordan Love is good.
Jordan Love is good. I don't know what you're talking about. Then you have a guy like who there's someone I'm missing here. I feel like I'm missing someone here, but
So you listed a quarterback who can't stay healthy.
No,
a quarterback
he has no offensive line. He has no offensive line.
Calm down.
Because he has no offensive line. He has no offensive line, Connor. If Burrow had a great offensive line, then I guarantee you Burrow would stay on the field.
Success. Like that's insane. The Bengals invested nothing into their O-line.
I want the Jets to get their guy. Whoever that is. Okay, if you want to trade up, sure.
I want them too, but like you can't just wait for that. You can't have. All I'm saying is that you can't have the mentality.
With you. I'm not
But you just said you've been stating multiple times that it's okay if someone just falls to the Jets, or if the Jets just pick someone. Your examples where there have been great quarterbacks coming out and that were not first round picks or top 5 picks.
That has nothing to do with where I want the Jets to take a quarterback. That's just an analogy.
I'm not saying what you want. I'm just saying your mentality of there could be quarterbacks later in the draft. The mentality of there could be quarterbacks down the road. Great. Why miss on taking a better quarterback? That's why they're first round caliber. To my point, why skip one of those guys saying, we obviously need a quarterback. Fields isn't doing it for us, but you know what? Let's just wait. Let's not get.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not like we're in agreement. Like why are you still trying to prove your point?
I'm not saying that's what you're saying. I'm just saying, but like you have the mentality.
Heated agreement, fellas. Heated agreement.
Who are just saying that?
Time out.
I feel like you have the mentality of that, but I know
floor, Jack. Time out.
Exactly. We're saying that's the people who are saying, it's okay to just take a quarterback. It's okay to just wait until 2027. There's no guarantee that class is going to be better. And yes, the Bengals have had.
They have not. I mean, Orlando Brown, fine, but like other than that, I mean, Burrow's gone injured every single season.
The Bengals have invested zero into their offensive line. Their offensive line sucks.
They can still invest assets, and it can still be terrible.
They had no offensive line success at all since they drafted him, and he still made it to a Super Bowl. But that just improves his greatness even more. And so I want to hear any Burrow slander, any.
Chris, who should the Bengals
Justin
pay?
highlight reel Herbert, who hasn't won a playoff game and gets killed?
The coaching in that playoff debacle a couple years ago when they let the Jaguars come back was so bad. That is not on him. That is on the coaching. Justin Herbert has all the talent in the world,
but he hasn't been good.
It's something about the Chargers. The organization just hasn't been able to get over the hump. So I don't know what they got to do, but I don't think it's Justin Herbert's fault.
I don't think he's a very good quarterback. I think he's in the 15th. He's like Kyler Murray. He's no different than Kyler Murray to me, except Kyler Murray's been to the playoffs. That's the only difference for me. Kyler Murray's won a playoff game. And
Murray's confusing because he's a good quarterback. But no, he hasn't. No, he has. He lost the wild card to the Rams 34-11 in 2021.
Yeah, that was the year that Kingsbury went to the
coach. That was the year the Rams won the Super Bowl. That was the year Rams
started 11-0. The Cardinals.
They started 7-0 that year. Then the Packers beat them on Thursday Night Football.
I thought it was in the double digits.
That team was unstoppable.
I know. I
Was that one
thought
of the
they were
biggest
gonna
questions,
win the
one of
West.
biggest what-ifs? What happened to them? What happened to the Cardinals that year?
They just collapsed. They just couldn't capitalize on their success that they had early on in the season. And team morale, once the team morale goes down, the whole thing starts shifting. I mean, the Carolina Panthers pulled off arguably the upset of the year at the time, beating the Cardinals. And I guarantee you the team morale went down after that. Kyler Murray, again, probably too busy playing Call of Duty instead of watching film for a lot of those games. So I think that's the reason why they finished the season. I think they went 10-7 that season. They went 3-7 the rest of that season after starting off 7-0. I mean, in my opinion, that's honestly worse than starting off like 0-8. Like, because when you start off 0-8, you already know your season's over. Again, like us Jet fans, we're already talking about the draft in April. If you start off 7-0, I mean, prime example.
No, you're saying that's causing.
I know. I agree. I love Matthew Smith's comments. Just randomly make me laugh at times. So do comments in the chat. So I'll just pull them up at times.
By the way,
prime example, Jets 2022. I mean, how awful was the feeling of the Jets starting 7-4, then losing the remainder
somebody play the clip
and missing out on the playoffs that year. I'd rather have this year, honestly, over an in-season collapse like that. To be honest with you,
no, I disagree. That's ridiculous.
Wait, Jack,
no, I'm talking about in team feel. I'm talking about in fan.
They were
feeling.
7-4.
I'm not talking about team. I'm not talking about the. Yeah, but would you rather have immense heartbreak like that, or at least know your season's over? You'd rather have immense heartbreak and at least know your season's over. By
not even close.
No,
Listen, I'm not saying the Jets. I'm not saying I don't want the Jets to start 0-4.
I've never seen the team.
I want the Jets to start undefeated. But listen. I would rather know that my team is dog shit and not making the playoffs.
In 2022, there was something to hang your hat on. This is the second year.
We see them be dog shit every year, no matter what.
That you could build off of their foundational pieces.
But listen, the heartbreak of that is something that will never.
Stop it, Jack. Nope. Jack, flame him in the chat.
And that emotional.
You can flame me all you want. I will never give up on that take.
In the emotional side of it, I agree with Jack. But in like the logistical side, I'd rather that heartbreak is more if you know.
I'm talking about the emotional side for fans. I'm not talking about like just anything else.
Side, obviously, there's like having something to hang your hat on after it's like starting 7-4. That's good, and you know if you just don't collapse next year, you'll be fine. But like in the emotional side, like if I was given two options and I wasn't considering the actual like standing of the team or how it's going to affect what they're building. If I can choose either just knowing we're going to suck the entire season or monumental collapse, I mean, I'm not even sure because like at least you had those couple weeks of fun at the start.
Had those couple.
The heartbreak would be more. So I'm still taking the 7-4.
We had 12 good weeks and we sucked.
12 good weeks is great.
No,
12 good weeks is great. We worked hard for 12 weeks for it to just. We were peaking up the mountain.
This is insane.
Josh, the Jets were peaking up the mountain.
Bro. We donate money to them by buying jerseys.
The Jets were rising up the mountain. Okay. They were here. They had all the pieces. They
were there, and we're down here. We're below your table.
Look.
We're below your table, Josh Woolever.
And the emotional state of heartbreak that Jets fans had during that was something that I don't think I've ever experienced as a Jet fan before.
We suck, though.
When have they been good? When were they good?
2009, 2015, 1998.
All right, name me one within this decade.
You're off topic.
None. That's again. 2022 had the chance to be great, blew it, and immense heartbreak. That playoff drought should have ended 3 years ago. It should have.
It didn't though, so just move on.
But it didn't. That's why the heartbreak is.
Oh my gosh, Jack.
We get it.
Stop it. You win, bro. You win.
You win, bro.
Thank you for the other super chat, Lou. We appreciate your second super chat tonight. Thank you. Sid, if you had to bet who'll be the QB opening day,
hard.
The starter,
definitely a rookie. I think. I don't think we're bringing in veteran. To be honest with you.
They'll sign one veteran in free agency or trade for one.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to start him though. That's the thing.
Before we get into this question, let's talk about this.
I would like for a veteran to start, but I don't think that's.
If we are going to all choose between a veteran bridge, who would you guys choose to have play bridge for this?
I like Jones.
Mac. I don't mind Jones. Brissett is one in mind. I think I like
mac and cheese brisket. We're just naming off Thanksgiving sides.
Is Gardner Minshew still in the league?
I
think if you have to ask if he's still in the league, he shouldn't be there.
I think Gardner Minshew. He's proved that he could be a serviceable backup before. I wouldn't mind Minshew. Who else? Let's see.
So my
Course,
personal
Scout.
Kirk Cousins, bro.
Flacco.
Kirk Cousins still has a chance.
No, not
Flacco's-
Flacco.
Kirk Cousins sucks.
Another stint of Flack.
Terrible. Oh
Yeah,
my!
Let's see.
not terrible.
I'd rather bring Aaron Rodgers back next year on
So
one
let's-
leg.
So
Yeah,
let's talk
me
about
too.
Mac Jones hype real quick. Let's talk about Mac Jones.
Yeah.
The 49ers,
We gotta stop
Kyle
this.
Shanahan's offense is an extremely back. Bring Mac Jones here and he sucks. That is a monumental disaster. And we have to see past his success and see that it is so easy for any quarterback to succeed.
But you
And
realize the Jets'
offense-
offensive system is
49ers
eerily similar to the 49ers. Mac Jones has brought other teams to the playoffs. And above all these other
We don't
guys,
have Kyle
he
Shanahan,
actually
bro. It doesn't matter.
calm down. He actually has upside. He's proven something. He's on the younger side. Bring in Jacoby Brissett. Let's
Yeah.
wheel in Kirk Cousins on a wheelchair, and he could play quarterback sitting down. Like, no.
I don't want a bridge quarterback with potential. I want this veteran that we signed to be a mentor to our guy, our rookie that we draft this year who will be sitting on the bench. I don't want him to have potential. I want our bridge to be someone who's solid and possibly get us 9 wins so that next year, I mean, not in 2 years down
I'm
the road, I
sorry,
want the
Chris.
quarterback
Kirk
to be ushered
Cousins
in.
isn't getting you 5 wins. He's not getting you 5 wins, let alone 9.
No. He. If we build the team up around him, which we have foundation, and we can build a team with all the cap space we have. If we just sign some defensive depth and get a wide receiver in this draft and get our quarterback.
Okay, if you want to play that game, then give me
terrible, man.
Flacco. Flacco's going to be out of
Well, fine.
Cincinnati
Flacco-
anyways.
Flacco won Kirk Cousins too, like that, and Brissett. Like I want those are the
Anyone
three
but
guys.
Kirk Cousins.
Shadur Sanders 3.
I'll take Shadur. over
Shadur,
Kirk.
no, I have to notice Shadur Sanders. And Connor, you love Shadur Sanders. You want him
I
to
love
get
him.
draft him.
He's a great quarterback. I mean, he
No, he's
almost got
not.
the
He's
Ravens.
not a great quarterback.
He's a great quarterback.
Chris, he's awesome.
I haven't even seen him step on the field yet, Chris.
Yes, we did. Did you watch the game on
did?
Sunday?
Last week.
Oh boy,
No,
Jeff.
Second
no.
half
Gotta get with the
for
times,
Ravens.
my friend.
Wait,
Oh
hold
my
on. I thought he was
God.
getting his
Shadur
first start
Sanders is
this
not
week.
good.
Oh
He
boy.
played like almost the whole second half on Sunday against Baltimore.
And he threw a
Okay,
pick.
no, I meant like his first start.
No,
Sorry,
just,
that's what I
that's
meant.
okay. You did see the game. It's fine. Just
Chris, I take Aiden O'Connell as the Jets quarterback next year. Flame me all you want. I would take him.
no, Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my-
We are
Aiden
going to
O'Connell.
flame you. We are gonna flame you, Josh.
Aiden O'Connell.
I see bad names in the chat. I'd take Will Levis and Malik Willis over Aiden
Oh my
O'Connell.
god. Yeah,
Over-
I agree with that. I mean, I take Malik Willis over Aiden O'Connell.
I
I
take
would
Malik
take-
Willis. Malik Willis won games.
What about Kenny Pickett?
He's legit.
Get-
He's only a
oh, no.
veteran. I want a
I
veteran.
would take Aiden O'Connell over
quarterback. I don't want
Jacoby
anybody
Brissett,
to take
Kyler Murray.
long term.
I wouldn't mind Mariota.
Mac Jones. I take
Like,
Aiden O'Connell over Mac
You're talking about a
Jones.
sole mentor. He knows the spotlight. He was a former number 1 overall pick. Obviously, he failed out, but
Taylor
he's someone
Heineke.
I'd want around a young quarterback, a leader.
That's a
um,
good shout, Jack. Who
who?
else heard
Taylor.
Jack shout?
Taylor Heineke.
Yes.
Taylor Heineke.
Yes, that's a name
Yeah,
I
Mike
can
Jones
get
got motion.
behind.
I am the movement because we had the motion. Taylor Heineke.
What about Richardson, Chris? Ooh,
No.
Richardson,
Not
Chris.
Richardson is. I don't want him anymore. That was going to be coming to the season. This season only. I don't want a young guy as our bridge quarterback. I want an old dude who's going to mentor our rookie.
What if-
Why would you? Why? We've
By the way,
already
Taylor
done the old
Heineke isn't
dudes.
even a
That's
free agent,
experience
so
to
that's off
mentor
the
our
table.
rookie quarterback so he can succeed in the future.
What if the Jets just trade for Stroud? What would you guys feel about that? I'm not saying
No.
I want that. I'm just saying, what if that happened?
That'd be
No.
fine. Stroud I like Stroud, but
Wait, hold on.
Oh,
Wait.
RG3.
Why haven't we talked
RG3.
about?
Let's go.
Why haven't we talked about? Why haven't we talked
not a
about
free
Brady
agent.
Cook? I'd be perfectly fine with him starting next year.
That's the
Bro,
Look, Brady
bro,
Cook, Aiden
no,
O'Connell,
we need
1-2
someone to
punch.
That is
mentor
just
our
pure hit or
quarterback.
miss,
No,
Josh.
I want someone that will mentor either Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza, man. I don't want.
You need
another
a veteran. You need a veteran.
I agree. Yes, Connor.
Aiden O'Connell,
Yes.
seasoned vet. Let the
Maybe
Raiders.
get Heineke if he. Oh no,
Again,
he's not.
Aiden
free agent,
O'Connell
yeah.
isn't even a
Not a
free
seasoned
agent
vet,
next
bro.
year.
I don't think he's in the league.
And by the way, this
he
is the
even
one
in the
good
league?
take in
No,
music
he's
made
not.
today. This is the one good take he's made today.
I think he's
Not-
retired.
good supporting
Derek
cast.
Carr,
Yeah,
bring him.
absolutely. But quarterbacks win
Derek
that way.
Carr
They need a good
unretired, I
supporting
think
cast.
Derek
That's
Carr.
nothing like the 49ers.
Hey. What about? Hear me out. Chris Traveler.
I'm
joking.
Yes.
Aiden
Hell yeah.
O'Connell, Josh,
Yeah.
Aiden O'Connell just got activated
Like
for
what?
IR in Las Vegas.
Oh, all right. He's still with the Raiders.
Like
Chris.
Connection with Mike White, maybe.
Mike.
Like what?
Wait,
think that
yo,
could- that-
No.
Chris, I'm being serious.
No.
Derek Carr, if he unretired, get him in New York.
Absolutely not.
I mean,
Absolutely.
at least he's a veteran. At least he's a veteran. He's better. He's better than some of the options you named. He's better than.
How about you trade a conditional 7th-round pick for Spencer Rattler? Who's on board, baby?
Oh my God!
What about Josh
Let's
Dobbs?
go.
What about Jimmy Garoppolo? What about like Mitch Trubisky? Like one
Jimmy
of those.
Garoppolo.
guys.
Trubisky, okay, Trubisky,
I
I
think
wouldn't mind.
Garoppolo-
Garoppolo, I don't really know about that one.
Garoppolo.
I mean,
He's a veteran. He played
Garoppolo is
behind Tom Brady.
aging. He's aging, but I mean, he hasn't really played. He hasn't started a snap in 2
then
years.
Would
And
you
I
guys
think
take
know,
Russell Wilson? I was hearing people talk. I would
no,
not.
probably not.
Jameis,
Yeah, probably not.
Jameis.
Jameis isn't a free
Jameis.
agent.
Jameis, my eyes widen. We're on the same page now. I'll take anybody who's a veteran. I'll take anybody who's had experience starting and can teach.
Chris,
our
Zach
quarterback.
Wilson's had experience starting.
Denzel, Chris.
No, experience, like actual experience, like in the NFL, good starting, like
Oh, good
starting.
starting.
Yeah. God,
Yes, imagine the Jets got Deshaun Kaiser at some point.
Deshaun Watson?
Oh,
I'm down
Kaiser,
with that.
Kaiser.
I'm down
Kaiser.
with
I would do Deshaun Watson. That's a great contract. You want that contract.
I like Mitch Trubisky.
And an even better
man.
person.
Like he's been
Great
able
locker
to.
room guy.
He's been able to start games before when need be, like a high draft pedigree. Again, I want someone coming in who knows what it's like to play in the spotlight, knows what it's like to be a high draft
that.
pick.
Nuggets.
So I think a player like Mitch Trubisky brings that to the table. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But at the end of the day,
Do you know who brings really something magical to the table? Some fight.
Carson Wentz.
Kirk Thuggins will bring immense vibes to this locker room. This is exactly what New York needs. He can complete passes. I don't know why we're saying
Kirk Cousins.
I don't know, Connor. Your argument for like you were saying Garoppolo and you wanted Garoppolo and you're calling Kirk Cousins too old to play. Like they're the same guy.
No,
bro.
Kirk Cousins isn't. Kirk Cousins has taken too many hits. Kirk Cousins is a terrible passer.
He just had a year off. He was solid last time he played in Minnesota. That was a while ago. Yeah, but like he can complete.
How about Carson Wentz, Chris?
Carson
What about Taylor?
this year, bro? Like I want Kirk Cousins. He can bring
Chris
vibes to
does an
this
18 touchdown to 16 interception ratio intrigue you?
No,
That's what you get in Kirk Cousins.
when did you have that?
Last year.
Bro, what
Last
are,
year. I mean, bro, the Falcons suck though. Like the Falcons are not a good team.
He's
guys,
washed.
what
He
about
isn't good.
what about the guy we already have on our roster in Tyrod Taylor?
He's a free agent. I think he might retire.
He might, but like, what if we just bring him back on a quick 1-year deal
No,
just
I
to
would
mentor
not
the
want
guy
him.
and be the? No, really? You weren't.
Jack.
I'm open
What
to
about
it. I
Ryan
mean, it's not.
Fitzpatrick?
Bro,
Right out of Amazon
Jack.
Prime.
Yeah.
Jack,
Yeah.
have you heard of the guy out of Western Illinois? They're calling him the best D3 quarterback, Joe Bartolozzi.
he looks like Joe
I
Ralph.
was watching his tape the other day. He could sling it. Now,
It's
like,
like- He looks like Joe
He's
Ralph.
legit. He's as good as D3 gets.
like he
What about
okay.
Joe Ralph?
D3. Yeah, but like he could transfer to D2 or D1. Like he can play.
I would take him as a priority UDFA.
Thoughts there, Jack?
Well, he looks like Joe Ralph. So,
Who's that?
oh, excuse me, Connor. You don't know Joe Ralph?
Josh, how'd you come up with that
Oh my
name?
God, the guy who can never fall off.
That was too realistic, Josh. How'd you come up with that name?
Joe Bartolozzi.
Yeah.
Some like TikToker.
Oh, I think I remember that guy.
Yeah, he
Ralph.
always wore like the
Joe
beanie
Ralph.
and he never had a shirt on. That was like his staple.
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Ralph is the guy that always
Bro,
says the
and
skits
people-
where he's like,
Josh, remember when
Oh
Joe,
yeah. Yes.
Oh, I
yes.
know that.
Yes,
Oh, Josh,
Jack.
remember when people made up the fact that Joe Bartolozzi died and everybody believed it?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
That had like a 1-week revival, Chris.
Yep.
That was like the top trending thing, and then it plummeted like a recession.
Folks.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining us right here on the Next Gen Jet Show. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. Connor Long, Jack Cotter, Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever.
What about
All here with you guys on the show. Thank you. We appreciate your support as always right here on the program. Thank you for joining us. Episode in the books. No pregame tomorrow, unfortunately. But we will have coverage for tomorrow's game, post-game video, of course. So thank you all for joining us again. Smash the like, hit subscribe. That'll do it for us. Go around the round table. You guys got any final thoughts here before we wrap the show up?
"No Jets, baby! I can't wait to see the Jets absolutely put BTA to the Baltimore Ravens tomorrow."
Chris?
I'm ready to get hurt again. Let's go Jets as always. But yeah, Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza in 2026.
Okay, Josh.
I am dead serious when I tell you, boys, I picked it at the start of the year, my upset of the year. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. in Baltimore, the Jets go in and beat the Ravens in a shocking 13-10 win with a walk-off field goal by Nick Folk as time expires in overtime to get the Jets the win. And I'm more fired up than a runaway truck. Let's go, baby. Jets.
How many yards?
Jets. Woo!
Josh, how many yards?
43. 43.
All right.
Like Chris, can you listen to the Jet Champ
tomorrow? But if they do, I'll be excited. I'll put it that way. There we go. Thank you.
Come on, lead it up. Lead it up.
Us right here. On the next Jets. Right there. That'll do it for us. Chris Grasso, Josh Woolever, Jack
Let's go.
And everyone watching us live. I'm Connor Long saying have a great rest of your evening. And as always, JTS, baby. Yes.
Yes.